part of the process, I mean, when we did start on the 5th of April, it did move very quickly because I'd already spent 18 months on really trying to bring it in on all different levels, getting sponsors in, speaking to all the different people and so forth. So there was a lot of work happening before. I mean, the award happened in late October, I think it was, or even early November. But already by that time period, I'd already done all the research, so I had everything ready to go, and I knew exactly what size dots I was going to do. I knew what stencils I was going to do. I knew everything in regards to all the detail. The question then was really about the permits and who to see, and by then I'd worked out I'd navigated through the system of who I needed to speak to and how I needed to get it done. But it's still, as I said, that was between the time I had the idea, met with this architect who introduced me to Meg Dale, right up to the point of winning the award, or up to when we painted. That was 18 months of a lot of research development and networking. I've got to say, most people I met along the way, I mean, they're all encouraging. Everybody's loved the project. But, I think it wasn't until I met Irene from Miami-Dade Transit, who was that passionate to get this actually happening. Everyone was like thinking, oh, this is just going to be more work for them, this is going to be a headache for them, this is going to create more problems for them. So love the idea, but don't want to kind of get involved. So that part was, quite exhausting for me. But then as soon as you have, and same with the sponsors, I mean, for every sponsor I got, I probably asked 5 or 6 people, 5 or 6 companies for the, for the paint, for whatever it may be, the stencils, everything. I saw 5 or 6 people or companies. So, I don't think people realise just how much work goes behind the scenes. And even today, I mean, and even with the volunteers, well, I've got an amazing team of volunteers who have come on board and they've stayed with me from day one. But even just to get that core team, we've lost 40 in between just to get them up to that date. And in regards to, I did approach the public arts, and I sent them my proposal, what I was planning to do, and I did speak to them, but I was told they had no funding for this. It wasn't a project within their system, so therefore that they couldn't fund it. So that was obviously disappointing for me as well. But at the end of the day, I think what has happened since this project has actually launched, I think it is actually, because a lot of people came down afterwards to see me and say, how did you do this? How did you get through all the systems? How did you, because literally you have to go through the systems, and I think I was the first person that went around the system and just went straight to the top and got permission to do it. And then a lot of people came to me and said, well, how do we do this? I mean, both artists and people in the system came to me and said, how did you get by this? Or how did you do this? Or,